Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Fiddle. Today we are getting back into 1/12 size furniture by making this 6-sided bed with a working drawer. And don't forget to check the link in the description. That would take you to the scavenger hunt where you'll find the list of materials and the free printable pattern so you can make one of your own. And while you're there, if you haven't already, please consider becoming a subscriber because it really helps with YouTube's algorithm. Okay, let's get started. The first pieces we're going to trace and cut are the top and bottom. I didn't have pieces of wood big enough, so for the top piece I put two together to get the size that I needed. Once you have the top and bottom cut out, trace the glue line onto your pieces of wood or whatever material you're using. I think that cardboard would be a good option for the whole thing here. You could just use corrugated for the top and bottom and cardstock or chipboard for the side walls and drawers. For the bottom part, I had to use 5 pieces of wood to get the full size, but this did make it a lot easier to cut the pieces out compared to the big ones. I used my easy cutter. I love that thing. But I need to take the blade off and sharpen it. It's a little dull. Then I used a thin sheet of plastic so I could glue my pieces together. Then I set it aside to dry. Now that that little side stuff's over, we can move on to the side walls. You will need 4 of the shorter ones and 2 of the longer ones. Once you have the outer square traced, use an X-Acto or some sort of knife and cut out the center square of your pattern and trace it onto 2 of the short sides and 1 of the long sides. Now we can cut the long drawer in half lengthwise. This makes it a lot easier to cut out the inside square, so we'll have a place to put our drawer. Once you have it cut in half, cut out the inside square. I originally wanted to make all 4 drawers working, however, there really wasn't enough space inside for the 2 side drawers. Once you have the center cut out, glue your pieces back together. Let it dry completely before moving on to the next step. Starting with the front drawer panel, glue your sidewalls along your glue line you drew earlier. The thicker part of the panel should be along the top edge. Sorry about the bird noises, I have my door open. It's too nice of a day to have it closed. Now we can glue our top piece down and set it aside to dry. This is what it looks like so far, minus the side drawer holes. Next we can trace and cut out the drawer faces. You'll have 3 in all, 2 for the short side and 1 for the long side. Once you have the drawer faces cut out, we're going to drill holes for the handle posts to fit into. You'll need 1 hole for both of the short drawers and 2 on the long drawer. Also, make sure that the drill bit that you're using is the same size as your toothpicks. For the next part, you may have to do a little measuring on your own. I forgot to add in the trim on the drawers. I used leftover strips from a bamboo placemat that I used for the flooring in the pink room. It worked out really well, and I think I'm going to use this idea again when I go to make a chest for the attic bedroom. When you are finished with your trim, we can move on to painting. I went with a dark brown because that'll make the gold colors pop later. Okay, so now I have to apologize about the rain because it went from birds chirping to rain. But anyway, I gave the bed itself and the drawer faces a coat of paint. Once it's dry, you'll need some nail decals. I had some diamond oval shaped ones, flower ones, and little circle ones that I used. I didn't have a set plan in mind for mine, but I ended up making big flowers and just adding the smaller flowers around it. We'll be painting over them so the color really doesn't matter right now. The silicone clay tool really helped get the pieces in place. When you have all three panels finished, go over them with your base color of paint. You may have to add more than one layer or add cornstarch to your paint to thicken it up. We will be painting over it again, so if it's not perfect, it's okay. While that's drying, we can move on to making the handles. Cut the decorative end off of fancy toothpicks and slide them inside of tiny wood beads. We'll need 4 of them in all, 2 for the big drawer and 1 for each little drawer. Once they're dry, we can go ahead and paint them. I went with a metallic gold, and it's the same color that I'm going to use over top of the decorations on the drawer fronts. When everything's had a chance to dry, we can go ahead and attach our handles. I used tacky glue to get it set into the hole, super glue on the back, and my silicone tool to clear away any excess glue. We have one more thing left to do, and that is to build the drawer. Unfortunately, I was out of frame for most of it, so I don't have the footage for that, but I do have the pieces on the pattern. And it is pretty simple to build, so I think you'll be able to handle it on your own for sure. While I was waiting for the glue to dry, I went ahead and added strips at the intersections of each panel. I'm leaving the bedding out of this tutorial because I don't like the way that mine turned out, and I'm still working with the best way on how to shape the blanket to fit the bed right because it is quite awkward. First, I tried with the corners at the corner of the bed, and then I tried with the corners at the center, and I like it this way, but it hides the details, and I'm not sure which direction to take it. And with that, it brings us to the end of our tutorial. I hope this gives you some ideas for your next piece, and our next project will be this full-length adjustable mirror with candles. And your friendly reminder, don't forget to like, share, comment, as it really helps me out a lot with YouTube's algorithm. Thank you, Ginger, and I'll see you next time.